welcome to another episode of Latin Chamber of Commerce Leaders in Action. And today with a special guest today, and all my co-hosts and jefa, our boss of the Latin Chamber of Commerce, Maite Salazar. Maite, please.
No, I am not the boss. Peter's the boss, and I love him to be the boss because he's a great boss and with a great vision, and that allows me to do what I do. And I am so grateful to this organization, Latin Chamber of Commerce, which I have worked with for over 20 years, just designing programs, implementing programs under great leadership. First Otto and now Peter, and always working with Carlos, because Carlos, you've been here the whole time.
7 years now, yeah.
You started when you were 10.
Yeah.
So we just want everybody to know.
7 to be precisely.
And but also very grateful to our sponsors like Dieter, the Department of Employment Training and Rehabilitation, who made this program possible. So we are thankful and grateful. Because we've graduated hundreds of leaders and business owners from this program over the last year. Today, we have a very special guest, and I am honored to introduce Gilda Lochner today with us to share her story and tell us a little bit more about her, what she does, and why you do what you do.
Excellent. Well, good afternoon. I just want to thank you for allowing me this opportunity. I'm very grateful to the Latin Chamber of Commerce for allowing me to do this. I'm independent insurance broker, had been since 2005. I'm affiliated with Tyler Insurance and Prestige Benefits. I specialize in the Medicare division, Affordable Care Act, and small business group plans.
That's great.
That's great.
Can I sign up? Because see my hair? Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can help you.
Yes, and tell us, because to win insurance is difficult, and also a lot of study and a lot of certifications to be at the level you are. It's a lot of process to be there. And believe me, especially for first generations in America, all kind of countries, different countries, not only Hispanic countries, it's difficult to understand Medicare, Medicaid, the difference, and why it's important, and also to understand Medicare at all. Believe me, I'm there, and Plan A, Plan B, they done a whole and things like that, so it's difficult. But in your career and living in America and coming from another country, you told us, what is the challenges you have and how you overcome those challenges in your life?
So like you said, Medicare is very complex. And for me, it's always been easier, the concept. And I found my niche in helping our seniors in the community. I just felt in love when I saw the relief in their eyes and their gratitude in finding and helping them find a solution for their own unique medical needs, and most often without paying anything out of pocket. Because I find those seniors in the community only carrying their Part A and B, which only covers 80%, is very high deductibles, doesn't cover medications, and they don't make enough to pay out of pocket for everything else. And not only that, but having Part A and B, they're already paying for the plan that covers all the gaps in Medicare, but they don't know.
Okay. Good point.
They don't know. So that was the biggest hurdle, going to be where they were at. And actually, I pioneered a way to be where they were by reaching out to food banks and grocery stores to set up information tables specifically designed for seniors. And it's so rewarding to see that the strategy has been implemented by most insurance carriers in Las Vegas now.
Yeah, let me jump in, and I apologize, Maite, but let me tell you, my time comes to do it. And I ask different professionals, and every time I had to respond, I say, what? And then I had to read investigate myself, and still I say, what? I mean, I know it's mandatory, so you need to sign up, and I know the benefits. So I understand, but how to cover the gap? How is what coverage I got? Because in my life, I mean, before Medicare, life insurance, I know where I can go. Is my costs, my co-payments, my you name it. But Medicare is new to me, and believe me, it's much needed that information from professionals like you are, because to be honest, myself, I try to get educated in that particular Medicare issue, and I'm lost, even though I'm already registered. But I'll tell you later my story.
I'm looking forward.
Yeah.
Forward. I promise I can help you. I've been doing this since 2014, especially in the Medicare division.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, that's my day.
So with all of this, you've talked about there are some challenges, and how did you overcome the challenges? I mean, other than the strategies, but communicating to an audience that sometimes is lost, and have no understanding. Sometimes it's first generation. The systems in other countries are different. So when you're talking to people from other countries, insurance is different, and it doesn't look the same. So were those also challenges in having to educate people on what it means here?
It was very challenging for me because the way we are trained to explain these benefits, right? You develop your own personal style as you talking to the senior. For me, because of my leadership style, I'm very systematic, and that's the way I approach them. I explain step by step, right? And I write it down, and I explain to them as I am writing it down, and I leave the format with them. So when I leave, they're relieved. They're like, I was scared, but now I'm not. I don't understand it perfectly, and I tell them, and you will not, because it takes a long time. Leave it up to me. You just have to trust me. And not only that, I tell them, I'm not going to go away. I'm not going to leave you. Here's your plan. Have a nice day. No, I stay with you throughout the time that you want to keep the plan, right? I stay with you because, like you said, it's very different, totally different than the insurance that you had before. You need the guidance. You need leading of the hand, and that's what I do. And because of that, my book of business has grown, and it stays, but I get referrals from my book of business because I just get calls, and they say, so-and-so refer me because they told me you're going to explain it in a way that I can understand, and you're going to help me through it all.
You explained my next question. So it's about leadership. What makes you unique? You explain everything, and believe me, it's much needed. I'm telling you my own experience, and I assume that there are many in our community, especially first generation, that we don't know what we don't know, and especially in navigate those situations, it's really difficult. And with your experience, I know you're super busy. We know that. What motivates you to take this program, the Leaders, Latin Chamber of Commerce Leaders?
As an insurance broker, as a professional, I consider myself a student for life.
Okay.
And I'm always looking for opportunities to grow. When I found this opportunity, I didn't hesitate. Because to stay competitive, you need to invest in yourself.
Yes.
Right.
You need to invest and discover what's already inside of you to maximize your potential, to go out, and that gives you, that motivates me to find out what I have inside of me, the knowledge that I have accumulated throughout the years, the experiences. This program motivated me, inspired me to go out, to keep going, to get more involved, because there's a lot of people that I can help.
Yes.
Well, and through the program, was there a moment where you said, aha, I discovered something that will change, that will really impact what I do?
Yes, it was. The aha moment was to discover my leadership on paper.
Oh.
because I'm very analytical. I score very high in the cautious platform, which is 99. Very analytical, very cautious, with some of the dominant side, which is competitive, persistent, sometimes pushy, and it could lead to misunderstanding. But it was an aha moment, because most of the time I question myself why I am the way I am. And to see that documented in paper, it was great relief.
It was great relief to find out that
You're
there
tough.
are benefits to who you are.
Yes.
And, and to be aware of those areas that maybe aren't your strengths. It's not about focusing on making those better. It's about just being aware,
Yes.
and focus on your strengths.
Yes, it's exactly. Because most of the times you want to change the weaknesses,
Right.
but instead you can overcome. You don't have to change the weaknesses. You can just use them to strengthen the core strengths that you
Right.
have within you. That's what I have learned in this leadership business. It's invaluable, the information that you gain. Yes.
And the same concept, this program challenge you to personal growth, or be a very better leader, or be a better person. How this program challenge you personally or professional level?
It has not only challenged me, but to push me to get out of my comfort zone.
Oh, okay, that's great.
To get out of my comfort zone, be more involved in that community, because I have a lot to offer.
Yes.
There's a lot of resources that my clients, like you, businesses out there, they don't have access to it. And you said it before, they don't know what they don't know. And I have that ability to, not ability, but the skills, the knowledge, the resources to bring it up to them, to my seniors, how they can save on their insulin, on their prescriptions, and to the business, small business groups, to find out the benefits they can offer their employees, and the great tax advantage that they can have as benefits, just because of the benefits. And they don't have to pay for the benefits. The client, the employee can pay for those benefits, and they can still gain a tax advantage.
Wow, and that's so important for a lot of our members to understand what you do, and
Yes.
and that's why we always encourage our participants to come to our events, network with other members, because the more they see you, the more that when someone asks, "Oh, do you know someone who does small business insurance?" You want them to say, "Oh yeah, I know Gilda. Call
Yes.
Gilda." Yes, and then Medicare, the same thing, because we all have, most of us have parents. I had to deal with that with my parents, and trying to find them the right insurance, and it's not easy, but there are tools, and there are people that are knowledgeable, because not every Medicare insurance plan is the same. They're all very different. They all have very different costs. They all have very different benefits, and based on what your specific diagnosis or what medications you're taking, you might be better off with a different insurance. And so people have to understand that someone who's knowledgeable will connect them with the plan that's best for them.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. And that's why every insurance industry, whether it be United Healthcare, Humana, Aetna, has about 11 different insurance plans.
Wow.
Why? Because they all have individual needs.
Right.
Like you say, your aunts, your uncles, your grandma, your grandpa. One could be diabetic. One has no health issues at all. It is all tailored to the unique needs. And they will know which plan, right, is
Right.
best for them. They have to leave it up to us. So what we do, I go and interview my client, ask all the questions, ask what medications they take, what doctors are important for them to be in the plan, and more questions. And based on that, I can find them a unique plan, especially designed for them.
Right.
This is great because I remember my mom before she passed away. She said, "No, this is my doctor. I don't care. Everything need to be around her doctor." And oh my God,
Right.
and so to
Yes.
find out, yes, it's really difficult.
Yes, it's very important for them to keep their doctors, especially when they have the established relationship.
Yeah.
It's very important. And that's my first question. Who is your doctor? Before I ask him for the medications, because I know that's very important. And because I have been in that community for 40 years, been doing this for 20 years, I already have it in my mind. I know the doctor. I know what plan is best for you.
You know, it's so interesting because with my parents, there are a lot of things that I experienced going through the process of insurance and Medicare
Paperwork,
and their
sign,
and
Yes.
yes, and what
Yes,
they
yes.
were dealing with.
I remember.
And there was a time when my father was listening to an uncle, el tío, that told him, "Oh, you need to get the same plan I got."
Yes.
But he lives
because
in a whole
it's better.
because it's better than the plan that you
family
have.
issues, yes.
Yes.
And so sometimes you're listening to your hermano or to your compadre. You're not talking to the expert. And so
Exactly.
my tío convinced my father to change from a very, very good plan to some other plan that wasn't very good, especially in the area where he lived. And so it is important. And I've lived it where I said, "What did you do? Why did you give up? This was the Cadillac plan that you gave up for this other plan that doesn't give you the same coverage." And so it is important to talk to an expert. Don't listen to your comadre or your compadre. Their intentions are good,
Yes,
but they may not know all of the
Details.
complexities and the details of what is the best plan for you.
You're very right. You're very right. I have had that happen over and over with my own clients.
Yeah.
Because they come up to me and they approach me and say, "What? I want the best plan." And it's the best plan is the one that fits your needs.
Right.
We need to talk.
Yes.
We need to get together. And that's how we go about and finding what's best for them.
And also, I'd like to mention that nobody really is open about their prescription. They're really, for instance, you are diabetic. No, I'm not. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you glucose is showing that. No, I'm not. You have high blood pressure. That's my wife. It's not me. So, see, those type of, believe me, and to understand because nobody discloses. It's full
very
disclosure and
true.
reality.
It's a sensitive topic.
It's very true. It's very true. And so they don't disclose it for fear
Exactly.
that
yeah.
they think that's going to disqualify them from the plan. Or because they think there's going to be an upcharge. So I let them know at the very beginning, this is not going to disqualify you. This is just for me to help me understand what plan is going to be best fit your needs.
And based on your experience, Gilda, how this program helped you to shape any way and form to be a better person, better professional, better advisor?
It has given me a greater understanding of the needs, right? And more compassion. It's increased my listening skills because I don't do all the talking. They do all the talking. Based on what they're telling me, that's the best way I'm going to be able to help them. That's how I'm going to be able to
this is
meet
great.
their needs. So this is I always talk less. I ask the questions, let them talk. And it has been my experiences that I can sit there and talk to them, let them tell me their story. It could be 2 hours. And sometimes I don't even say all they're ready to sign. They say, what do I sign? Because they felt heard. They felt seen, understood. And I gain a friend and they gain a friend because there's a lot of loneliness. There's a lot of isolation in our senior community. A lot of them, their children do not visit them. They don't live here. They don't have friends. It's easier for them to stay in their home instead of go out. So I become their friend. So it has make me a better human being because I feel like I'm helping my grandma, my mom or dad. I see them like that, and they can feel that. You project that, and they feel that.
It's so good that you say that, Gilda, because I know that a lot of the sessions talked about the disc and understanding your customers, and because we're all different.
Yes.
Some of us are high D, some of us are high I, some of us are high C's. I'm a high C. So, and having that compassion, it gives you now a greater understanding so that you can have that, a whole different level of compassion for someone who may think totally different, may respond totally different than what you expect. But you already do it. So it's kind of nice because now you can tie all those pieces together. But with all of that said, was there a session or a coach that impacted you most?
Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt. The one with David Chavez.
Oh.
Yeah,
David, I was fascinated with him. His enthusiasm, his humbleness, his visionary style.
Yeah.
And the way he asks questions and challenges to keep thinking outside of the box.
Yeah.
So what else? What else? Yes, you're right, Gilda, but what else? Is something else there? I was fascinated with him.
He's also a high D. And he's he talks about how he's a high D, and he's the CEO of the Assured Strategy.
Yes, I saw that.
And it's so funny because all of the coaches, they all manage their time in an hour and a half. David, I think, had been up that day. I think he was on East Coast time, and I think on the East Coast he had been up since like 5 a.m. So it was already like
10 o'clock.
And he was still going like with all this energy, and he went over in time, probably like 30 minutes. We told everyone, hey, the time is up. If you want to disconnect, you're welcome to disconnect. But if you want to stay connected, David's still willing to, to talk to you. So
we didn't want to let him go. Very, very, like I said, very fascinated human being.
Yeah, he loves what he does, and he's worked with the chamber in the past. Yes. He is a native of Las Vegas, so he's been involved.
Even though he moved to Henderson, David, I'm complaining about that.
But he had a large CPA firm here, and then he transitioned. He sold that and transitioned to do coaching, and he loves what he does, and so. Because of his passion, he's someone that we've reached out to him over the years to implement other, to do trainings for us.
Very wise move, and very lucky for us. Yes.
And based on your experience, what you take from those classes, the Leaders in Action, Latin Chamber of Commerce, do you recommend this program to our audience?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. To stay, like I say again, competitive in this changing industry. And now with AI coming into the surface, you have to invest in yourself if you want to stay ahead. Oh, absolutely. Take advantage of the resources. And most of the time they're given to us without a cost. They're available to you. You just got to invest the time, and it's worth it. Very much worth it.
Yeah, and it's something that's important for people to know that while it's free to the public, there is a cost, and we have a sponsor that's covering that cost. But if someone had to pay for that, it would be thousands of dollars. I mean, David's team gets paid thousands of dollars to coach large corporations and businesses all across the country. So, like you said, we make it available for free, but it's not free. And sometimes people take for granted what's free because they think, oh, well, if it's free, it must not be any good. But you're a testimony of there was value, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I've been around long enough. Nothing's ever free.
Yeah.
There's always a price. There's somebody always paying. And because of that, you have to be committed.
Yeah.
I make the commitment. It's there for you. If you're going to sign up, do it. Do it. It's an invaluable resource.
Yes, and thank you. Thanks for your kind comments. And really, we appreciate to having professionals like you and our community, and fully bilingual, and German on the side. and we really appreciate that.
That's
And believe me, we need more professionals like you to understand, because in my case, and you mentioned something that hit me, and it's true statement, in the sense that once you sign for Medicare, you're gone. I mean, you're done. It's like, that's the feeling. I mean, like, oops. And believe me, this is a step that is need to be taken. Well, it's
Yes.
mandatory, but still, there are many gaps in information in the sense, I'm still working. Why I need to subscribe Medicare? I still have my own insurance. Why the things that professionals like you can solve the problem. And Gilda, please tell your audience who you are. What is your company name? How they can reach out to you, and all your social media, everything. Even we will put it in the tape so the people can reach out to you. But tell our audience, please, how can reach to you.
My name is Gilda Lochner. I'm an independent insurance broker specializing in the Medicare division, Affordable Care Act, and small business group plans. You can reach me at 702-488-7538 or write me an email at gildalachner911@gmail.com. Thank you.
Okay. Well, this is great. As far as you can see, we had great guests today. We learned so much about Medicare, business insurance, and Affordable Care Act that nobody understands still today. It's very difficult to navigate those processes. And I want to thank you, Hilda, for your participation today. Maite, always a great honor to be alongside with you.
Thank you, Carlos.
And everyone, please learn from individuals, from professionals in our community, and hopefully we'll see you the next session. Thank you.